Assalamualaikum viewers and greetings to all of you. This is Sidra Ahmed and today I will discuss how things will change after change of political administration in United States of America with the special case of China. But before moving towards the point that I have extracted for you, I would like to give a brief introduction that how China managed itself to become a global power and global influencer in the global politics. So I would like to start with 2001 when China strengthened its capitalism by joining the WTO, World Trade Organization, and it experienced an unprecedented growth in its middle class and expansion of middle class, which put a great effect on its economic and socio-political life or the standards of living as well. At the same time, China maintained and preserved its core Chinese characteristics or core civilizational characteristics, we can say, and it did all of these things without getting or becoming a part of Western bloc. So this was the great, I can say, the success of China to assert itself politically, economically, and on social level as well, but with maintaining its own identity and its own civilizational presence. Now in 2013, with the launch of Belt and Road Initiatives (BRI), and in 2017, China launched Asian Infrastructure Bank. These initiatives not only was a chance for China, or you can say the opportunity for China to expand its influence and its supremacy over the regions, because it crosses all over the Europe, from European countries to the Asian countries. For these countries, especially for the developing countries, it was a great opportunity to meet the ends and to see the BRI as an alternative for its damage, or in the, you can say, the unavailable infrastructure. So China will not only help these countries in building up the infrastructure, but also for raising and for empowering the economic process within all these countries. Even though it was, it is about the European countries as well. The great test of China's strength, economic strength, or you can say the political wisdom and the planning and the society all at once, was tested and tested very truly in 2020 through the wave of pandemic COVID-19. China and Chinese society did manage it very well and very quickly. So the society and the system both defeated the COVID-19 virus, and it was back to the normal quite quickly and swift compared to the developed world, and the, you can say the Western counterparts. Now, looking towards China's positioning on the global stage, one can safely say that we are transitioning from a unipolar sphere of world to a multi-sphere of global world. It has its influencers in it, but China or the Beijing can be rightly so the most significant influencer. Now coming to the China-US relationship. During the entire Trump administration from 2016 and now, we can see an intense level of mistrust among the both powers. We can see the hostility, unprecedented deterioration of the political relationship, and no substantive dialogues or any kind of cooperation that we did see during the entire period of the 4 years. So Trump hostility actually helped China as a state and as a nation to build itself by becoming more self-sufficient in order to be safe. And this has been written in Chinese somewhere, so I translated it for you, that how did the challenge of being challenged by the hostile rival can help you to become united and to become more strengthened together. So that was the case of Trump administration. But now come to the what we are going to see during Biden's rule, or you can say the Biden's administration. Well, I have written few points for you, which I would like to read to you, so that you can make the points, or you can say make the bullets of it. Number one, Trump during his entire presidential campaign did not get criticized for its hostility towards China. This was amazing. He was never questioned about how and why did he had a hostile attitude or hostile policy or hostile statements against the China and China as a nation and Chinese leadership. Rather for being ineffective in schooling China. That this is something amazing. So as a nation, United States also have a very you can say negative stereotypical image of China and Chinese nation, and that is why Trump hostility has had never been questioned, and I am expecting the same behavior in the Biden's administration, because we can see and we can name a number of Hollywood movies, a number of their TV characters, a number of their cartoons, and their a number of official tweets and statements by the official authorities and the responsible authorities against China as a race, China as a nation. So this kind of rivalry can hardly be changed in Biden's administration. Another point that I can mention is that Biden himself pledged that he will make China play by the rule. So this is kind of very, you can say, a warning kind of a message for China, that Biden has some sort of rules for China and Chinese nation. Secondly, the trade deficit with China has gone up, not but down. So there can be a change of policy or action, but not the fundamental purpose or fundamental intentions, we can say. Strengthen global governance and benefit of international community. There can be a progress in strengthening the global governance or the agreement on the how to run global governance just for the sake or the benefit of international community. More predictability, yet a less friendly relationship. Compared to the Trump administration, we can see a more predictable, yet a less friendly, or you can say a cold friendship between China and United States of America. But at least there will be a lesser hand of unpredictability and uncertainty and the surprises, just like we used to see during the Trump's era. Whether Trump or Biden or any other president in future, we can expect conflicts and power plays till China surpasses US GDP. Now, this is something very predictable, that the conflict or the rift or the race between the two mainly the economic rivals, can only be tamed down, can only be slowed down, and can only be resolved once the Chinese GDP will surpass the US GDP. So who can predict that? It can be happen shortly. It can be happen anytime soon in the near future. So I am concluding my opinion or concluding this video over here. I would like to take your feedback on it, and definitely I will come with some other topic related to international relations for my students and for the learners of international relations and international politics. Till then, take care of yourself and goodbye.